Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into something, well, a lot of people go through, especially heading off to college.
Uh-huh. Living with a roommate.
Exactly. Living with a roommate. It's exciting,
Yeah.
right? But let's be honest. It can also be tricky. Potential for bumps in the road.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sharing your space, your personal space with someone totally new, it's a big deal. Formative, even.
Yeah, you've got this chance to make a new friend, build a connection.
But you've also got to navigate, different habits, different expectations. It's a balancing act.
Totally. So our mission here in this deep dive is to pull out the really useful stuff, the key ideas, the practical English words you'll need to help you make that roommate situation work well.
And we're looking at a great source for this, actually. It's a script from a podcast that's specifically designed to teach English for exactly this topic.
Perfect. Okay, so first things first, what are the absolute basic terms, the must-know vocabulary if you're sharing a place?
Right. Well, number one is obviously roommate. Simple enough, the person you share your room or apartment with.
Like, my roommate and I are grabbing pizza later, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Straightforward. You share accommodation, they're your roommate.
Okay, got it. Then moving on to maybe the less fun part, chores.
Ah, yes. Chores. Can't avoid them. These are just those small routine jobs around the place.
Like keeping things tidy.
Yeah, vacuuming, doing the dishes, taking the trash out.
Yeah.
The basics to keep the place livable. You might ask someone, so how should we split the chores?
Okay, chores. Definitely need to talk about those. And to stop chores or other things becoming like a big issue, I guess boundaries come into play.
Hugely important. Boundaries. These are basically your personal limits, what you need to feel comfortable, respected.
So it could be about quiet hours or...
Exactly. Or maybe borrowing clothes, having guests over, when it's okay to use each other's stuff. It's about setting those lines. Someone might say, maybe we should set some boundaries about overnight guests.
Makes sense. But even if you set boundaries, sometimes...
Yes.
Well, disagreements happen, right?
Yeah,
Conflict.
It's pretty natural, yeah. Conflict. Just means a disagreement, an argument. Happens in any relationship, roommates included.
The key is probably how you handle it, I guess.
That's it. You might hear someone say, like, yeah, we had a small conflict over the music volume late last night. Not necessarily a huge fight, just a disagreement.
Okay. And hopefully that conflict leads to finding a solution, a compromise.
Exactly. That's the goal. Compromise, where both people kind of give a little bit to find an answer that works for both of them.
So maybe one person likes it cold, the other warm.
Yeah, so you compromise on the thermostat setting. Or maybe we compromised on the lights out time during exam week. It's that middle ground.
It's interesting just having these basic words, roommate, chores, boundaries, conflict, compromise.
Yeah.
It gives you a framework to even start the conversation, doesn't it?
It really does. It gives you the tools to talk about things clearly.
Okay, so our source actually gives us a little scenario. Two new roommates meeting for the first time. Let's kind of walk through that exchange.
Yeah, it's a good one. One of them pretty quickly says something like, maybe we should talk about a few ground rules.
Which sounds pretty smart, actually. Polite, but direct.
It is. It's proactive. Gets things out in the open right away. Shows you're willing to figure things out together. No awkward guessing games later.
Right. And the other person responds positively, something like, good idea, like cleaning and guests.
And that's key too, isn't it? Straight away, they give examples. Makes it concrete.
Yeah, it's not just vague rules. It's like, okay, these are the kinds of things we need to discuss. Cleaning schedules, guest policies.
Exactly. And make sure you're both kind of picturing the same thing. Avoids misunderstandings down the line because you're talking specifics early on.
And they end that first chat with something like, looks like we're off to a good start.
Yeah.
Which feels important, setting a positive tone.
Definitely. It's simple, but saying that reinforces the idea that, hey, we can figure this out. We're working together. It builds a little bit of goodwill right from the start.
Yeah, that initial vibe can really set the stage for how you handle things later, I imagine.
For sure. Those first conversations, even if they seem small, they matter.
Okay, so talking early is good, setting ground rules, but what should you actually ask? The source had some really practical questions.
Yeah, a really useful list. It starts with basics like, when do you usually wake up?
Seems simple, but probably avoids a lot of accidental alarm clock rage.
Totally. Knowing sleep schedules is fundamental.
Yeah,
Respecting routines, avoiding noise. It's basic consideration, really.
definitely. Okay, what else? Are you okay with guests coming over? That touches on a few things, doesn't it? Noise, privacy.
It does. Big one. If you don't talk about it, one person might think having friends over all the time is fine, while the other really needs quiet time. What happens then?
Yeah, potential for awkwardness or resentment, I guess.
Exactly. So figuring out expectations around guests, how often, when, maybe overnight guests, avoids that future friction.
Okay, another really direct one. How should we split the chores?
Gotta ask it. Tackles that common tension point head on.
Why is asking that question so critical, do you think?
Well, it sets up fairness,
Yeah.
right? Shared responsibility. If you agree on who does what and when, nobody feels like they're doing all the work. That avoids a lot of simmering anger.
Good point. Then there's, do you like to study in the room or somewhere else? Very relevant for students.
Super relevant. Study habits vary so much. Someone might need total silence in the room.
While the other prefers the library or needs background music.
Right. So if you know your roommate needs the room quiet for studying, maybe not to have friends over then or to take your phone call outside. It's just being aware.
And the last one on their list was, are you a light sleeper? Back to sleep again. Seems like sleep is a big theme.
It really is, because disrupted sleep affects everything. If you know your roommate is a light sleeper,
You'll hopefully try not to slam doors or blend a smoothie at 6 a.m.
exactly. It's just about being considerate, especially late at night or early morning. Knowing that sensitivity helps prevent a lot of grumpy mornings.
So all these questions, they're really about preventing problems before they start. Being proactive.
That's the whole idea. Address the potential hotspots early, calmly, before they blow up.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the basics. We have questions to ask. What other words or concepts might pop up day to day?
Right. Things get a bit more nuanced, like shared space. This just means the areas you both use.
The kitchen, the living room, maybe the bathroom.
Exactly. And those shared spaces can often be where issues arise,
Look,
right?
cleanliness, clutter, who left what where.
Precisely. Which leads directly to respect. It's more than just rules.
How so?
Well, it's about treating each other thoughtfully, being considerate, acknowledging their needs, their stuff, their time, especially in those shared spaces, just basic kindness, really.
Okay. And we mentioned noise before, but noise level comes up again.
It's a constant negotiation, often. It's not just loud music. Think about, phone calls, video games, even typing late at night if someone's trying to sleep nearby. Just being mindful of your overall noise level at different times is key.
Right. And to manage the shared spaces, maybe a cleanup schedule could help.
Yeah, the source mentions that. Having a clear plan who cleans the bathroom this week, who takes out recycling adds predictability.
Takes the guesswork out of it,
Oh,
and maybe reduces the it's not my turn argument.
exactly. It promotes that shared responsibility we talked about, makes it feel fairer.
Okay, last one here. Personal space. Seems obvious, but maybe more important when you're living so close.
Definitely. Everyone needs some time and space to themselves, to just recharge, be alone.
And if that's not respected,
You can feel crowded, stressed out, maybe even resentful. Respecting when someone needs their own space, their quiet time, is crucial for keeping things comfortable long term.
so these terms shared space, respect, noise level, cleanup schedule, personal space, they help you talk about the finer points of living together.
They give you a vocabulary for the ongoing negotiation of sharing a home.
Okay, so we've got the words, the questions.
Mhm.
Any bonus tips, how to actively make it a good experience?
Communication is number one. Talk. Talk often. Don't let little annoyances fester.
Easier said than done sometimes, though. How do you bring things up without starting a fight?
That's a good point. Maybe try using I statements, like, I feel a bit stressed when the dishes pile up, instead of, you always leave your dirty dishes out. Focus on the impact on you.
Okay, yeah, less accusatory. And maybe pick a good time, not when someone's rushing out the door.
Definitely. Choose a calm moment. Also be flexible. Remember, everyone's different habits, routines.
So you gotta be willing to bend a little.
Yeah.
Find those compromises.
You do. You can't expect someone to completely change who they are, but you can find ways to make different styles work together. Focus on the impact, like you said, not just the habit itself.
Makes sense. Adapt where you can.
And underpinning all of this really is just show respect. We keep coming back to it, but it covers everything.
Respecting schedules, belongings, quiet time, the rules you agreed on.
All of it. A little consideration goes such a long way. The source even mentions how small acts of kindness can make a difference.
Like what?
Oh, the simple things. Offering them a coffee if you're making one, being quiet if you know they have a big exam, maybe just asking, hey, how was your day? Little things that build a friendly atmosphere.
Right. It doesn't have to be grand gestures, just basic, decent human stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. This deep dive, we've really tried to give you the tools, the language, the questions, the mindset for navigating that roommate experience,
Mhm.
especially, if you're heading into college or a new living situation.
Yeah, it boils down to understanding the key terms, asking questions early to set clear expectations, and then just maintaining that open communication and mutual respect day to day.
It sounds like, well, yeah, there can be challenges.
There definitely can be.
Broaching it the right way, with the right vocabulary and attitude, actually make it a really positive thing.
Absolutely. It can be a fantastic experience. You can learn a lot, make a great friend. It just takes some effort and good communication.
So, maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Sharing your space, it's an adventure, right? And maybe a chance to grow. If you communicate thoughtfully, show respect. That shared experience, it could actually be pretty great.
Well said. Really could.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.